Hello. And welcome to the Good Kraken Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ernell Pearson, alongside the inevitable one, Devin.
I saw, dude.
How you doing today, baby?
Doing good, man. How about you?
Actually, I'm about to do real good because I got to open up my party sauce.
Your party sauce? I'll be getting there. I gotta finish my my juice, and then I'll join you here in a little bit.
I mean, I'm not like in party mode, but it's my party.
Why not?
Party drink.
It's Tuesday night.
does Tuesday night connotates a party mode for you?
What's a good Kraken show without a Truly or a White Claw?
Not. It's not. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Devin, I have a question for you real quick. So you and I have day jobs here, right? Like not here, not Good Kraken Show. We both have day jobs. and my question is if you weren't doing this or your current day job that you have right now, what day job would you want to pick?
Oh man.
Let me make some more interesting stipulations here. It can't be something that's like a dream job.
Oh man. I would probably just go back to bartending. To tell you the truth.
Very nice. Very nice. That's good. That's good. Honestly, I feel like I would probably end up doing like retail management again.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something I kind of miss.
Yeah. I will say if I wasn't doing bartending, I would probably try and be a barber, actually.
Yes, that's right. We talked about
between those two. Yeah, between those two, or maybe both at the same time. That's probably what I would be doing. Honestly, would you like be the barber that has like really nice suave hair yourself, or would you start doing like crazy shit with your hair if you were a barber? I'd probably be suave.
Yeah,
because you'd probably see me with a mullet.
I like the idea of you like with like a mohawk, but like not a cool mohawk, like the really shitty mohawks. You know what I'm talking about? With like purple tips and like
with like just like three of them, just like symmetrical, like three of them that are all just like little spikes.
I feel like that's a Tekken character, isn't it? Like this.
I don't know.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. I don't know.
Maybe some like generic character out of like fucking Rage or Motorsporm.
I think I'm thinking of Machop, the Pokemon. I think Machop and Machamp. Yeah. Dude, do Machop here. What are you doing? You're not living.
And then I would just be Machop for Halloween.
Oh my god. See, we're on to something here. Here. Now we have to get you in a Pikachu costume for Halloween, and I refuse to have it any other way.
Unless if it's like one of those inflatable like blow up ones that has like the fan that constantly goes, so it's like that instead of like the little like pajama one, that everybody wears. Yeah. Like if it's one of those inflatable ones that just makes me like an obnoxiously large Pikachu, then yes. Like have you seen those T-Rex ones?
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Like that.
Well, you can kind of see your face, like in Pikachu's like little chest cavity thing that's here in the open. Hood Ramsey in the chat says, I can see Devin as a professional mover. He freaking carries the whole team. That's true, man. You're just carrying us all over Apex the other night. It's great, dude. And I can't wait to get carried by you again, probably tonight after we're done with the show. But we're not talking about carrying tonight, because tonight we are talking people trying to do the right thing, Xbox doing a thing, and me and Devin's memories being a thing, because this is the Good Kraken Podcast, a show for nerdy, marginalized people giving you the video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live right here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 1 p.m. If you're watching live, you can submit questions and topics at tinyurl.com/GK submissions to be a part of the show, or you can just drop that right in the chat. We like to talk to people while we're doing this. If you're having a good time so far, you can watch us record the show live and ad-free by following and subscribing right here at twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime, and we would love for you to give that to us to help us keep pushing content out for all of you listening or watching at home. But If you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can catch our episodes on your podcast service of choice at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning and every next day after every time that we film this episode. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking the link in the About section of our Twitch page and clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Devin, planner work, son. No. So, couple little things here for us to go over. So, our episode 16 of the Good Kraken podcast is out now on YouTube and your podcast service of choice. We had twitch.tv's Highlash on to talk about Pokemon, all of our bad decisions with Four Loko, and understanding the AAPI perception. It was a real good show. It was a real good show.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Highlash was great. She even went out of her way to ask us questions. That was the first time that we've had that happen. Super awesome. Super awesome. It was a lot of fun. Next announcement is we have our reunion show for the Subtle Sound of AAPI Hey, and that's going to be on May 29th, Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have the entire gang back for this show. It's going to be me, Ubisoft's Holly, GameSpot's Mike, and G4's Rose, all back again to discuss us being shamelessly Asian and how we've been healing since the unfortunate tragedy that took place on March 16th in Atlanta, Georgia. The last episode that we did, which is actually technically the very first episode of Good Kraken that was ever done, was amazing. I'm super stoked to have them back to talk about all of this stuff over again. It's gonna be a good time. Devin's gonna be there too, sort of being our man in the chair, as one what's his name in Spider-Man?
What's his name? Larb.
Yes.
Larb.
Yes. Yeah. As he would call it, the man in the chair.
I love you, Larb. I larb you.
I larb you. That's going to be us during that show. It's going to be a good time. These guys are awesome. They had such wonderful topics for us to talk about last time, and we really got into the deep that episode, and I'm stoked to do it again. So, Devin, did you watch the internet explode over the past couple of days because of the IGN incident?
Absolutely. How could you not? You know, it was everywhere.
Yes,
it was everywhere.
All over the damn place. All over the damn place. And we are going to be talking about that first and foremost. Now, here's the deal. For all of our listeners at home and everything, we have a lot here for that I'm going to be reading. I'm going to try to zoom through it as quickly as you possibly can. Some things are going to be condensed, some things are not, but we want to kind of get a chance to go over all the details because we feel like our listeners and viewers at home right now need to kind of know all the nitty gritty of what happened in order for us to actually properly discuss it. So, we'll try getting this going here. And our chat commands are not working, so I'm going to get that fixed up real fast.
I was just about to message you that.
I know, that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to.
Welcome to live shows, my friends.
I know. Again, look, we say this all the time, but we never mentioned that the show was good, guys. Right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We never said that the show was good. Like we like to pretend that
enjoying each other's company, really.
you know, and that's all anyone could possibly ask for. Let's try one more time. Sick. There we go. We are good, guys. All right. So I probably should have tested that before we started. Anyways, this is IGN takes down article and tweet sharing Palestinian aid groups. This comes from Zach Zwiezin from Kotaku. Again, it's going to be a little bit buckle your seatbelts, y'all. Following the most recent event of violent military strikes by the Israel Defense Forces that have leveled entire buildings in Gaza and left over 180 Palestinians dead, IGN posted an article linking to a variety of Palestinian charities and even gave a Palestinian flag prominence in its masthead. Sometime earlier today, all of that content, along with a tweet promoting the post, was removed with no indication as to why or if it will be republished at a later date. Shortly after the IGN post went live yesterday, IGN Israel shared a statement on social media accounts owned by IGN Israel stating that it condemned the US IGN article and tweets supporting Palestinian charities. At this time, it's unknown if IGN's parent company, Ziff Davis, demanded this content to be removed or if the content was removed for another reason. As of writing this, the post and tweet remain deleted. Another outlet that showed support for Palestine and its people was Game Informer. However, its article promoting charities was also removed today. As with IGN, there has been no public indication as to why this post was removed or if it will return. As Israeli attacks against Palestinian civilians continue, many in the gaming community have begun to speak up against the violence. While what is happening is not new, this reaction from big outlets like IGN and GameSpot was seen as a big deal by many who'd been begging for more news and media coverage. IGN, the biggest game news site in the world, was one of the first major outlets to publish a story directly supporting the people of Palestine and various charities that are trying to help the victims of Israel's ongoing military attacks. So that happened. IGN posted the post, and it was awesome. People were stoked about IGN coming out, doing something that a lot of different websites and companies were not doing. And it has been a talking point for a lot of us in the game industry to really go over the details of this. And IGN, people were super proud of for making this move. So the first thing is after that post had happened, IGN has since issued a statement saying the original post was, quote, not in line with our intent of trying to show support for all people impacted by tragic events, and that by highlighting only one population, the post mistakenly left the impression that we were politically aligned with one side. So I'm going to read this real quick so that people can kind of get an idea of like what this fuckery was about. So it said, in full, across IGN, our hearts are heavy as we follow the events in Israel, Palestine, and across the region. Our first thought is always for the broader IGN community, our employees, readers, and partners, and our hopes for their safety and well-being. We have a track record of supporting humanitarian efforts and charities across the globe. In the instance of our recent post regarding how to help civilians in the Israel-Palestinian conflict, our philanthropic instincts to help those in need was not in line with our intent of trying to show support for all people impacted by tragic events. By highlighting only one population, the post mistakenly left the impression that we were politically aligned with one side. That was not our intention. We sincerely regret the error. We do continue to use our platforms and resources to aid those civilian lives impacted across the entire area. As part of this effort, we have made a donation of $25,000 to Save the Children, an organization that works to support children everywhere and provides emergency aid in natural disasters, war, and other conflicts. Thank you for your support and for always engaging with us. Our community is a huge part of what makes IGN special. We will continue to follow global events and look for ways to lend our support in productive, helpful ways. I'm going to stop us just real quick. How does that hit you, Devin?
That to me just says, so from what I've heard is that the editors originally posted, like the actual IGN editors, people that we hear from and see in a lot of podcast shows, is that the original post was from them.
Yes.
Sincerely.
Yes.
This to me, especially after everything being taken down, not only from IGN, but also Game Informer. Mm-hmm. This is like, oh, we fucked up. Now we have to make ourselves look good. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what it looks like from the higher ups, unfortunately. Whatever parent company or whoever made that decision to take down the post originally, like this is them trying to kiss ass and get people to not call them out for it, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, my hearts go out to all the editors who have been put in this predicament because of somebody higher than them, because there's people who don't know the story.
Yeah,
but this is some fuckery.
No, absolute horseshit, man. I saw it, and it happened way late at night. Like, I want to say 11 o'clock midnight at night. And it was just absurd. Like, people were up, like, they saw the post, they saw IGN employees talking about it, and it was insanity. Just thinking that they were going to do that in like the dead of night, and just think that that was gonna like slide, like, absurd. Absolutely fucking absurd, Devin. So the second update here was that following the main site's removal of the Palestinian post and his bullshit statement, and that's not me that said that, that's that is our man Zach who posted that. Agreed, though. Let's make that abundantly clear. Definitely bullshit. South Africa-based IGN Africa briefly republished the story, linking to relief efforts before it too was removed. And then third update, IGN Israel has released a statement following the widespread condemnation of its original comments. It does not help matters. I did not post this in our show notes because I don't care.
Yeah.
Fuck that. And then finally, the fourth update, employees of IGN have since released a statement letter directed to the management of J2 Global, Ziff Davis, and the corporate leadership of IGN. So I'm going to read some subsects up from that open letter that they had written and signed on together. There was a lot of IGN employees that signed on to this. I'm going to read a few segments that I thought were important to kind of summarize, and then I'm going to post the actual link to it in the chat and in the show description after we posted everything so that people can read it and whatnot. So it reads like this. The undersigned employees of IGN are appalled by the recent management decision to subvert our editorial autonomy and remove our post directing aid to the Palestinian civilians currently, suffering a humanitarian crisis in Gaza, the West Bank, and Jerusalem. In our original post, we offered our readers ways to support charities that helped injured and sick children, supply educational resources and food assistance to victims, and provide emergency medical relief for those wounded or displaced by the conflict. We feel these efforts should not be controversial. All humans deserve access to these basic rights, and it is important for those with means to offer aid in times of humanitarian crisis. We, the undersigned, are calling for an all-hands meeting that includes IGN upper management and anyone at J2 Global or Ziff Davis who had a hand in the decision by the end of the week, in which we would like full transparency about the reasoning and process behind the post's removal. We ask that the management body responsible for the decision accept that responsibility publicly. We ask that management recognize IGN's editorial authority and autonomy with regards to what it publishes, regardless of whether what work is news, reviews, features, guides, video content, or promotion of initiatives our staff feels are important, such as issue awareness or charitable support. While we want to make sure all voices on our team, IGN management included, feel able to weigh in on what we say as a site and how we say it, we are adamant that corporate leadership does not get the final word in editorial decisions. Finally, we ask that management work with our staff to republish the piece. We are open to doing this through a process that incorporates management feedback and concerns about how its content is perceived, but we firmly believe that we must be allowed to advocate for humanitarian causes freely across all our channels. How does that hit, Devin?
100 fucking %.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm saying, dude, I am saying, incredible, and I'm like super stoked that they did that.
You know, one thing that's been amazing, and there's a lot of people who criticize IGN for this, but they're one of the biggest gaming outlets in the industry, in the world, for that matter. Their reach is unfathomable. They're everywhere, right? They have been behind humanitarian issues constantly, and there's so many people who try to go off and criticize them for it and say they're a bad outlet because it's not gaming related. Well, I'm telling you right now, a lot of these people out there who do get hurt, who are affected by these things, are probably gamers too. So, like, and the whole thing is about connecting with your community and supporting your community. Like, the fact that people are even so against this in the first place is just appalling. You know what I mean? Mm. And I could go on and on about this and just really just rant because I have so many things I think about this, but it is just good to see these people trying to do good with what reach they have, you know, and also stand up to someone who is trying to silence them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, that's essentially where I sit, to sort of echo what you say. Like, this is ridiculous. It's just, for lack of better words, honestly, like, I can't even like fathom right now the appropriate verbiage to say, because it probably wouldn't be appropriate in this sort of sense that, like, these people, these workers at IGN, these wonderful people who went out of their way to do something that was wonderful, were shut down in silence and got their legs kicked out from underneath them for doing the right thing. They had their autonomy as journalists taken away from them. And that sucks on so many different levels. So many different fucking levels. It sucks. It sucks so bad. And good on them for doing this letter. And it's long. It's a long read. I urge all of you to go and read it, please. Hulk Brogan in the chat. J2 Global has an inclusivity blog about how great their company is. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's just absurd, dude. It's absurd that they even had to do this. They shouldn't have had to write an open letter. Anyways, hindsight, right? Okay. So, like, it's, for me, it's just like having a company that's sole purpose is for journalism. It's journalism. They give news, they have discussions, they put out articles for people to read to get the feedback from a company that they trust. How are people supposed to trust this company when the upper management at any moment's notice could just take something down that they don't like? It's insanity. It's insanity. And it's absolute bullshit. I cannot believe that this even fucking happened. I really cannot believe it. I'm just appalled by it. But again, to end it on sort of a brighter note, the staff at IGN were so wonderful for making this move, making the demands that needed to be met, that they felt need to be met, and putting this all out there, because I know that there's a lot of people that were throwing them heat when it wasn't their fault. And I feel like that was one of the first things that needed to be, like, discussed first and foremost. This was not the employees of IGN. This was not the employees of IGN. They did not decide to take down the article. And I know there were a bunch of people that threw fucking huge fit and gave them a hard time about it. It was not the damn fault. It wasn't their fucking fault. And there's a whole list of wonderful IGN employees that are signed at the bottom of that article, at the bottom of that open letter, that are saying, hey, this is not what we stand for. And the beauty of this is shit like this happens, and that's how unions start.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's in the gaming industry that we need that more so than ever. I'm pretty sure IGN has a union, though. I'm pretty sure they do.
I if they do, sure, but they need a journalism, press union. That needs to happen. That needs to happen.
Yeah. I'd have to do some more research, but I want to say there is something there. All the journalists should leave IGN and then start their own publication. You know how many times that's happened?
It has happened. My thing is, like, I understand that notion. I do. The thing is, I also understand too that there's a lot of employees for IGN that unfortunately don't have the luxury of being able to leave even though they want to. And it sucks, and I wish it wasn't so. I wish they would be able to do that and not have to worry about anything. But what's better than just leaving the company that you love and have worked out for a really long time, that has done you wrong, is by demanding that they make up for it. Because, I mean, there's a chance that IGN have some time here to make this better. They have time to do the right fucking thing here. And damn
I will say this about the signees on that. There's a lot of people that I really like on there, like Ryan McCaffrey, Max Scoville, but there's some names that aren't on there that slightly has me questioning, unfortunately.
I know. I want you to worry about it. But
that's about as much as I will say about that.
I know there's some people that are not comfortable with the affiliation of it. I get it. It's just, dude, this like the Ziff Davis stuff and the J2 stuff. Like, how in the fucking world, man? How in the world? Like, talk about slippery slope. You know what I mean?
For real.
Like, if massive corporate companies can just decide to do this to their journalist employees that they hired these people to put out honest articles about honest factual things and opinion pieces and all these things that they care about, and they punish them for doing it. Are you fucking out of your mind?
This whole thing just reminds me of like music scene drama and seeing like one person in a band say something and the rest of the band say they're not associated with it. That's just what it looks
drama like. And it's absurd that like these people are just trying to work, man. They're trying to work and do something they care about.
Do their job and inform us on what is happening. That's all they're trying to do.
That's all they're trying to do.
Inform us about something they care about.
And do the right thing.
Why is morality a question?
Why? It's not. It's not. Yeah. Oh my god, it's fucking not. It's infuriating. I'm so fucking upset about this, dude. It's ridiculous, man. Because it goes back to like what we talk about all the time on the show with all of our guests that we have on every single Saturday that are marginalized people that feel like they're underrepresented and feel like they don't get the attention that they want to. Like, Tamoor, okay, you know who Tamoor Hussain is, right? So Tamoor put out a wonderful video talking directly about how people with platforms should educate themselves about what's going on with Palestinians. That's all he said. That's all his entire video was about. Just do some studying, do some education on this because it's important shit. And the reason he had to do that is because he felt that a lot of the time, Palestinians don't get the love and care that they should be getting from bigger platforms. And the second a bigger platform does it, what do you know? Who would have thunk the marginalized man was fucking right? Who would have thunk, right? Yeah. Ridiculous.
But you know what? Racism doesn't exist here. Yeah, I don't see it. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, and it's like it's not even just to say that like these higher corporate companies made a racist move. It's more so just like they made a coward move. Yeah. This is a coward fucking move. They wanted to play the fence sitter. They wanted to play the middleman. And Lord knows, Devin, I don't like a fucking fence sitter. Do you like a fence sitter?
No. It's people are dying. Children are dying. Like,
what else is there to say?
Yeah.
I just, like, we shouldn't be having to have this conversation. Why is this a discussion for anyone? Like, why does this even have to be? It's absurd. It's insanity, man. Like, the fact that we even have to explain to people, like, you should care about people dying. You should care about this shit. Like, it's, oh my God, man. Oh my God. I also urge everybody to go watch that video of Tamoor Hussain talking about this too. I'm going to see if I can throw that in the chat as well for people to watch, like, while we're talking or whatever, because it is a phenomenal video. He goes really in depth about his thoughts on the fact that the Palestinian people and just the injustices that they have to face just simply because nobody really like thinks about them. You know what I mean? Like nobody stops to think like what is going on because they aren't really educated enough to know what's been going on. And so they just decide not to talk about it. And that's a really dangerous way of doing things. And that's a big part of why we do what we do on this show, is because there's a lot of people that are too fucking scared to talk about things because they don't know enough about it, when the only thing that they need to know is that people are being hurt. People are being fucking hurt. There we go. Put that in the chat there. That's in there. All y'all, you can watch that if you want to. I'm going to make sure I put that in the show notes as well. Anyways, Devin, do you have any final thoughts on this subject?
My final thoughts is, if you don't know anything about what's going on right now, look into it, read it, digest it, understand what's going on, and, you know, either share what you learn about it with, you know, friends and family of yours, or find a way to, you know, just share what's going on, because people need to know. That's pretty much it. Share what's going on, find a way to help if you can. That's about all I can say about that.
Yeah. I want to end it by saying, the employees of IGN, bravo.
Yes.
Bravo.
Yes.
Thank you guys for making a wholeheartedly, genuinely thoughtful fucking post to get attention, spotlight on something that is really, really, really matters in this fucking world right now. It really matters. So good on you guys. Seriously, good on you guys. Let's kind of move into a little bit brighter of a subject here, because we are also a nerd show. Devin, can you take on this second story for me?
Yo, so we had a trailer drop the other day.
Yes,
and so we're gonna see a new G.I. Joe movie, and it is going to be called Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, which I'm actually pretty stoked about. This comes straight from Rick Stevenson over at Screen Rant. This is a condensed one. We are playing the trailer right underneath us right now. But anyways, the article goes like this. G.I. Joe is coming back to the big screen in 2021 with the release of Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, a prequel film for the eponymous black-clad ninja. After a relatively poor receptions to G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, and G.I. Joe Retaliation, the reboot has a chance to properly revitalize the live-action arm of the franchise. And unfortunately for fans, it won't be too long before Snake Eyes releases in theaters. Did I say unfortunately? I meant fortunately. Though G.I. Joe has existed as a major name in the toy world since the 1960s, the modern era of Joe began in 1982 when the G.I. Joe, a real American hero line, effectively relaunched the brand. The new toys were accompanied by a successful Marvel Comics series and a famous cartoon of the same name. MCU, maybe? Which began airing in 1983. A real American hero shifted the franchise to a less realistic, more character-oriented model, introducing major elements like the evil Cobra organization and the Joe's sci-fi weapons and vehicles. Since then, G.I. Joe has gradually dropped off in the mainstream pop culture. The franchise has continued in various forms over the years, but it's failed to find the kind of widespread modern appeal that Transformers has had. The Snake Eyes movie is G.I. Joe's latest effort to reintroduce itself, rebooting the film series with one of the most popular G.I. Joe characters leading the way. Yo. I'm kind of stoked on this. That trailer looks fire. Like, you know, it's the action looks, at least when they're sword fighting, it looks somewhat realistic. I don't know about the jumping between the cars, but at least a lot of the sword fighting when you see them indoors and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's G.I. Joe, so I hope it gets ridiculous. You know what I mean? Right. I feel it, dude. You're right. This trailer looks sick. Yeah. It looks super sick. I want to point out, Tyler and in the chat, I want to see a G.I. Joe Fast Furious and Transformers mashup now, all caps. This is amazing. The thoughts of that. And Mark Wahlberg is in all of them. I want Mark Wahlberg to be every single character. And Vin Diesel. Mark Wahlberg and Vin Diesel.
It'll be amazing. Mark Wahlberg, imagine. Hey, I'm a Transformer. You gotta let me fly on this one. Imagine
the opportunity. Transformers, though. he's in
Optimus, I found a transformer. Imagine
hey, Optimus, I found a transformer over in Boston.
Imagine the opportunities, dude. Imagine
hey, what you looking at? Family.
And just The Rock and that's it. That's the only part he's in for the entire movie. Dude, that'd be amazing. I need it.
And then Jason Statham walks around the block.
You don't know me. You don't know me. Devin, did you watch the other G.I. Joe movies?
Oh my god. It's been a while. Honestly, I'll tell you the truth. They were not memorable. I do not remember anything from them. I know I watched them, but I do not remember anything from them.
All I know that I remember from them is Channing Tatum, and that's it. That's the only thing I can honestly say I remember from those.
I forgot who was even in those movies.
There you go. That's how memorable it was for you, I guess.
Oh shit, Xander just rated us. What is up?
Oh, Xander.
My boy.
We appreciate you, dog. We appreciate you. Devin, okay, so what do you want to see in future G.I. Joe installments?
Rememberable movies. To say I've never been
good
that big
content.
Of a G.I. Joe fan. Yo, what up, Metalhead?
Oh my god, we want good content.
I just want it to be a memorable movie and just a good experience. It doesn't have to necessarily be like some insane story-driven movie, but even if it was just remotely on the same level of like an action movie, let's say the first Transformers, for instance, it's not necessarily an amazing movie, but it's still entertaining. You know what I mean? And I still remember stuff from it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, think about Godzilla versus Kong. Like, it's the same thing. Sanders like there were G.I. Joe movies.
I love it, dude. I love it. So what I want to see is G.I. Joe starting Butters Stotch from South Park.
Oh my god.
I'm G.I. Joe, boys. How you doing?
When they come out with that movie, South Park's probably gonna have an episode about it. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of potential they could do. I almost want to say that I hope that they learned about how unmemorable the last two movies were, that they're going to make some adjustments to make this one better. I could be giving them too much credit. I understand that. I totally understand that I'm probably giving them too much credit here. But
Snake Eyes was always like pretty much the star of the show. I think that's the one thing I can say. That was like the coolest part of those movies, right?
Yeah.
So the fact they know that too. They know Snake Eyes is the most popular character, so no wonder they're gonna make a movie to focus on him. And the trailer does look tight. I love martial arts. I love sword fighting. I love action. I love car chases. I love sword fights in the rain and them jumping off of two cars and meeting in the 10 feet in the air. I don't know.
Sword fights in the rain, one of the best fucking movie moments ever.
I know.
Ever.
If they don't slow-mo that shit, I'll be mad. If they slow-mo that shit too much, like it's Wonder Woman 1984, I'll be mad.
No, see, like that was dope because like the Matrix did it and it was lit. The scene in Matrix 3 where like Neo and Agent Smith or whatever the fuck his name is are like standing in the rain and the rain's like slow motion beating against their faces. Like
let's call Agent Stiff. Let's just call him Steve.
Steve from the Matrix. I'm sure people know exactly who we're talking about.
He looks like a Steve.
He kind of looks like a
Steve.
Better
a Richard. He's probably like Richard Smith.
Richard Smith. Dick Smith.
Dick for short. Dick for short.
Dick Smith. Yeah. I like that. Agent Dick Smith from the Matrix. Who is ironically enough also Dick Smith in Lord of the Rings.
That's right. He's Aragorn, right?
No. Elrond. The Elven King. Right. So he's Elrond Dick Smithinson. We'll just call him that in Lord of the Rings.
Next thing you know, in the Amazon Lord of the Rings show. It's gonna have him in it, and then all of a sudden the Matrix is just gonna open up right behind him, and he's like, "Hold on, I'll be back."
Oh, Xander in the chat says Dick Smith in Captain America. He's Red Skull in the first Captain America.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's
Dick
right.
Skull. Dick Skull. He's Dick.
Dick Skull. Jesus Christ.
That's this show. That is this show.
Ernell,
What?
we got some cool news.
Yes, we do. Devin.
And everybody's been asking this question.
Yes, they have. And we are here to fucking answer it. Y'all, this is Starfield reportedly confirmed as exclusive to Xbox and PC. This comes from Kat Bailey at IGN, and it reads like this. Starfield will not be coming to PlayStation 5, GameSpeed is reporting. Instead, Bethesda's first-person science fiction role-playing adventure appears set to be a major console exclusive for Xbox Series X and S. Can we talk about how fucking cool of a game that description that is? First-person science fiction role-playing adventure. Everything about that gives me a Dick Smith. GameSpeed cites
it's Outer Worlds on crack.
Oh yeah, basically, right? GameSpeed cites sources familiar with the decision in its report. Reporter Jeff Grubb earlier tweeted that Starfield is exclusive to Xbox and PC, period. First announced at E3 2018, Starfield is the anticipated sci-fi successor to popular Bethesda RPGs Fallout and The Elder Scrolls. Little is known about the game itself at this point. The Bethesda engine was also confirmed to be getting its largest ever upgrade late last year. Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda in September 2020 raised questions about whether Starfield would remain multi-platform or would become an exclusive. Deathloop, which was announced before the acquisition, remains a timed exclusive for PS5. Xbox has a history of being more open to releasing its first-party titles on other platforms, with Ori and Minecraft Dungeons both releasing on Nintendo Switch. Questions remain, but if this reports are accurate, we have a much better sense of Xbox's intentions for Bethesda and its other major acquisitions going forward. Starfield does not yet have a release date. My boy Devin, I know this is doing it for you.
Oh yeah,
this is doing it.
I've been saying this since the ZeniMax Bethesda Softworks acquisition. You do not spend $7.4 billion to share your IP with a competitor. You don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like yes, there were a couple deals in place. They were timed exclusivity deals. Just timed. And as soon as those are up, they will be on Game Pass. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. So it's because they already had deals in place before those games were in development, you know? Dude, Starfield is going to be like Microsoft's shining star to adventure open world games. You know, like, I did not, but anyways, it's going to be their Ghost of Tsushima. It's going to be their Last of Us. It's trying to be, I should say. It's that's what they're aiming for now with all these acquisitions. Like you got Todd Howard's newest IP to be exclusive to your platform. You know how big of a deal that is? That is insane. We're talking about the guy who has been doing Elder Scrolls. We're talking about the guy who took over Fallout with Fallout 3 and 4. You know, like this guy is a rock star when it comes to freaking video games, you know,
to say the least.
Like he is just, God tier programmer from what we've all heard and what we've seen in games, even though those games are full of a lot of bugs, but open world games. But you know what? This is also going to be on PC still. So, people like you, Ernell, who have PC and PlayStation, you will also be able to experience this. And guess what? If you have Game Pass, you get it day one launch, and it's not $70 with Game Pass.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
There's a lot of rumors speculating if that is going to be a highlight at E3, which I do think it's going to be shown off a lot. Sure. I don't think it's coming out this holiday season. I don't think it's going to be the premier holiday game because we have Halo Infinite coming out. this holiday.
I do remember seeing that Jeff Grubb had replied to Blessing from Kind of Funny, saying that his date prediction was correct, and Blessing had said like spring of next year. So like quarter. I
was thinking February, March. I that's what I've been thinking as well. Right. So oh my God, it's Raven. Hey, welcome to the chat.
Yeah, we love you, Raven. We love you.
But yeah, so I'd expect to see it as the premier springtime game. It's, it's going to be the second or third month in the year, and I think that's when it's going to launch. So that's probably my most anticipated game right now. That or Elden Ring.
Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be one. To stay on the Starfield talk here. So the thing that I want to bring up first and foremost is that there's going to be a lot of people that are real fucking upset about this. Namely, PlayStation people that were really, really wanting to play this game and now are probably not going to be able to play unless they get a PC or an Xbox Series, right? So the only thing that I have to say to those PlayStation people, I'm going to look you dead in the eyes, guys, and say, get the fuck over it. Get over it. Yeah. PlayStation has been doing exclusives out the ass since the PS4 came out. We had God of War. We had The Last of Us. We had The Last of Us Part 2. We had tons of the Horizon, like the Bloodborne.
Ghost of Tsushima.
The list goes fucking on. Yeah. We had so many exclusives. Xbox can have Starfield. They can have Starfield. If you want to be a part of it, get Game Pass or buy fucking Xbox Series.
So when you have Game Pass Ultimate, you also get this thing called xCloud, which all first-party games are going to be available on xCloud. And with that being said, this guy right here, paired with a controller, can play all your Game Pass games. So they're in beta stages right now for iOS, and it is fully released on Android devices. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Look, listen, guys, listen, okay? I am the PlayStation guy for good Kraken. Okay, I love PlayStation. I love PlayStation's exclusive. I love everything the PS4 gave us for this past generation. I do. And if I didn't have my PC, if I wasn't fortunate enough to have my PC, yes, I'd probably be a little bit upset. But do you know what I would do with that upsettedness, Devin?
What would you do?
I'd buy a fucking Xbox, Devin. That's what I would do. Okay.
So there's a reason why Microsoft came out with an affordable economy class next gen console called the Xbox Series S. It's for people who have PCs or PlayStations or Switches as their primary console, and it is a next gen console for $300. No, it does not do 4K, but it does 1440p, which is damn near twice as better as a freaking 1080p. And if you're going to be playing on a monitor, you'll be set because you can do 1440p up to 120 hertz. Like, come on, that box is made for people who are unsure about Xbox but still want to try those games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so exactly. Starfield is going to be a fucking good game, Devin. And we're both just assuming it's going to be good because as that article said, none of us know anything about this fucking game yet. None of us know anything about this fucking game yet. Besides, that's going to be on the new Bethesda engine. And that's it. That's the only thing we fucking know. And honestly, I trust them. I trust them.
Me too. I trust them a lot. They make some of my favorite games. Like Western RPGs are like some of my favorite games I've ever played. I have sunk thousands of hours into all of their games they've come out with over the last few, decade plus. You know what I'm saying?
Devin, I actually want to ask you a quick question too. So, here's the deal, right? So I have a homie. I actually have a couple homies that sort of insinuate like notion toward this is that their concern is that Bethesda to them is not a console seller. It's not a console selling company. What do you have to say about that?
So Microsoft's main focus isn't selling you consoles. Microsoft's main focus is getting you to be a subscriber to Game Pass.
Yes.
That is what they're looking for. That's why they put all of their games on PC. That's why they come out with xCloud, and that's why it's all integrated. So it doesn't matter if it's a console seller or not. It's the fact that they are making these acquisitions. They are coming up with this content. They are getting these IPs to put on their platform of choice. You can play on a console, you can play on a computer, or you can play on your phone. And guess what they're also doing? For some smart TVs, they're coming out with an app so you can Bluetooth link your controller to your TV and use xCloud straight off of your TV.
God.
So they don't care about selling you consoles. They just give you that as an option so you can have a dedicated piece of hardware that is the best way to play all of their content.
Let's fucking go. Devin, preach it to him. Preach it to him. It's Xander in the chat. Even after Fallout 76, do we trust them? Yes. Yes,
I actually played the shit out of Fallout 76. Well, I am one of those people that like it.
Here's the deal. I get where, objectively Fallout 76 was probably not that good of a game. I get it. Especially not at the start, more so, right? It was a little bit of a different situation, 1. 2, Bethesda has put out 2 amazing games for every 1 bad game they've had.
Not only that,
I would argue
they publish amazing games. We just had Doom Eternal that got a 9 out of 10. That was published by them. That was, worked on by people at Bethesda Softworks as well. They just did a whole documentary explaining how all of these teams would actually mesh and work on each other's projects together. And they have an actual community of developers who work on everybody's games together. So, I mean, we got the Wolfenstein franchise, we got Doom, Evil Within, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, just to name some of the big ones. Like, of course, I'm going to trust Bethesda. You know what I mean?
Devin, it is such a good time to be a gamer, dude. We say this almost every fucking episode, man. It is such a good time to be a fucking video game fan right now. It is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to play Xbox, like, on my fridge. Like, if I get one of those smart fridges, it's going to be lit. I'll be able to play Xbox in my car if I get a Tesla, which I won't. And I'll be able to play it out of thin air. That's my hope, is to have glasses I can put on and just.
Speaking of glasses, Microsoft has HoloLens. So
Jesus Christ, you're right. We're right that. I was just joking, but sure. You're right, Xander. I will get a Tesla. Our last story for tonight. Yeah, I know, right? Our last story for tonight, Devin, can you take this for me?
This one was sad, but we kind of knew this day was going to come eventually with streaming platforms. But Dune movie will debut in theaters exclusively as HBO Max decision is reversed. This comes from Jeff Snyder over at Collider. Denis Villeneuve's Dune movie will debut only in theaters as Warner Media has reversed its day and date decision regarding HBO Max and that particular big budget title. Deadline reports that the sci-fi movie will premiere at the Venice Film Festival in September ahead of the exclusive theatrical release on October 1st. Warner Brothers had already reached a deal with Regal Cinemas to restore the 45-day theatrical window in 2022, before titles begin streaming on HBO Max. Dune will now fall under that arrangement and will likely be Warner Brothers' only 2021 movie to do so, with late 2021 award contenders like Will Smith's King Richard and Clint Eastwood's Cry Macho still expected to premiere simultaneously in theaters and on HBO Max. The report comes the same day that AT&T has struck a deal to spin off its Warner Media assets to Discovery, which prompted a report that Warner Media's Jason Kilar is already negotiating his exit after a year in the top job. It was Kilar who delivered AT&T's decision that all of Warner's 2021 titles would debut on HBO Max, and though the strategy has proved effective, it also infuriated the creative community. So, it makes sense. I'm not going to lie. People are getting vaccinated. The movie literally comes out Christmas, right at the end of the year. By that time, the trajectory is we're supposed to be around 70% vaccination. Things are opening up. I'm not surprised. The selfish part of me is upset that I don't get to watch it in my living room day and date.
Yeah.
Because, we get nice TVs and sound systems so we can have that theatrical experience at home. And of course, it's just better to be at home. But like, I get it. I just wish I could pay $20 to $30 to watch this movie in my house.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that bums me out about this most isn't necessarily because it's Dune. Like, I would probably end up going and seeing Dune in theaters anyways. I was a big fan of the books. I love the books. Awesome story. It's going to look amazing. I have faith that they're going to make it look absolutely extravagant. It's going to be sick. My dealio here is that this is very telling because this is not the only movie that's done this now. There's a couple other movies that were lined up to be on streaming services that are now going to be hitting theaters instead. And it bums me out because... Was it?
Yeah. Wasn't Black Widow one of them?
Black Widow's still going to be coming to Disney Plus Premiere.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, it still is. But the thing that bums me out most is that I was kind of hoping that one of the things that we would get out of this pandemic situation is that movies would potentially just start releasing on streaming platforms day and date. And I was hoping that was going to consistently be a thing going forward for a lot of major releases, because I was kind of hoping that this pandemic would give us some sort of a crazy life change. And I don't know if like that's just me thinking way over the moon about things like this, but I would have thought that was awesome. I was kind of hoping that we would have that. Go ahead.
I'm with you on that. But as being one of the things that we talked about hating, I'm kind of a fence sitter on that because there are a lot of jobs at stake if that was to happen.
Correct.
We have a lot of, movie theater employees, just faculty members of those company, not only like the corporate people of that company, and granted, corporate capitalism, that sucks anyways, also like we got to think about the people at the bottom who make these movies. We got to think about the mic, the boom stand holders, the cameramen, the writers, like writer assistants and stuff like that. Like, the pay would probably go down for some of those people, or some of those positions get eliminated to, smaller skeleton crews. We might see smaller budgets for movies,
Yeah.
So
again,
do I like being at home? Yeah. Do I like being at home? Yes, it's awesome. Maybe instead of it just making it day and date to stream at home just for the cost of the subscription, maybe add a ticket value for like a 48-hour stream or something like that, just like renting a movie. I could see that happening before any of these big name movies premiere day and date, unless it's like a Netflix original or a Hulu original or something like that.
Of course. But as far as like theatrically released titles, and you know what, like I guess it's just wishful thinking more so on my part of like what could have been. Granted, on the other hand of that, though, I don't want to lose movie theaters. Like, I love movie theater experiences. Like, I watched a majority of the Avengers movie, the MCU movies in theaters, loved every single experience that I had with those. There was so many good memories that I have in movie theaters and movie theater experiences that are going to go with me to the grave. And I don't want to lose that just because of the pandemic thing. But also, I know there's a lot of different benefits that come to getting movies day and date that are bigger titles for people that are not, that are disabled, that can't go to movie theaters and have the same comfortable experience as other people. And they want to be able to have day one conversations like a lot of us did when Avengers Endgame came out. There's tons of different stuff that could benefit from having something like that. So I definitely like your idea as far as like having like a 48-hour stream experience or something like that, that could sort of like act as like the middle ground of that. I just want to find like a happy place in between. Look, guys in the chat, hi, we love you. Everyone in the chat, please understand that I'm not saying I want I wanted movie theaters to be replaced by the digital age. And by no means do I want that. What I want is for everyone to be happy because I fucking love all of you. And I want all of us to be happy and all of us to have fun and all of us to be extravagant and love entertainment and love nerdy things and love just being complete fucking dweebs about movie theaters and video games and Avengers and it just all the memories that we've fucking had when it comes to these. I want all of it to have it. I want all of us to have it. I want everyone in the world to fucking have it. But I also want, to be able to sit on my couch and eat shitty home popcorn and burgers and drink alcohol if I want. And just, which I can, I guess you can say. I want to curl into a blanket on my couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you 100%. And so I want to ask you a question real quick, just on the subject of theaters and how when everybody is vaccinated, we should all go support theaters for these moments. What are your most hype moments you can think of off the top of your head from movie theater goings? So what 2 movies?
The very first thing is exactly what they're saying in the chat here. Avengers Assemble moment, the Portals moment of Avengers Endgame is absolutely my number one most hype ass fucking moment I've ever had watching a movie ever. Yeah. Ever. Yeah. That is always going to be number one for me. Always. Number 2 was Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. The little scene where Aragorn talking to his people, and today is not that day, you know what I mean? And he turns around at the very end, and he's like,
yeah.
And then he all charges the Black Gate, and it is the sickest shit on the fucking planet. Seeing that when I was so young, it was amazing, and maybe that's part of the reason why I fell in love with Lord of the Rings. But either way, definitely a hype. Devin, what are your 2? Be fast.
Okay. I'm going to be with you on that Endgame moment, Avengers Assemble, hype moment. I saw that movie 4 times in theaters. Always hype.
I've watched it like 25 times since.
Yeah,
honestly, I bought it on Blu-ray nonstop.
I've gone straight to the end of that movie just to watch that whole end sequence from when they get back and Thanos comes and everything. You know what I mean? It's just so sick. Now, my second moment is the end of Rogue One when Vader is going through the ship and it perfectly intertwines with the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, to ever be released. That was fucking hype in the theater. Seeing it from Vader's perspective was so cool.
Fucking hype. So fucking hype. Xander talking about the Harry Potter part. How dare you stand where he stood? That part was super hype.
Yeah.
Super hype. Yeah, guys, in the chat, let us know what your fucking favorite hype moments and movies were, because we definitely want to talk about that stuff. And also, too, we're going to be getting into more fun memories and hype moments that we remember a little bit later on, but in video games. So our next segment here, guys, is actually our hands-on segment where we talk a little bit about the things like video games and movies and TV shows and books and comics and whatever the hell we want to talk about that we have experienced since our last episode that we recommend to all of you at home. Devin, what have you been consuming this week?
So I got 3.5 things for you, and one of them includes both of us.
Oh.
I'll start with my solo things here first.
Okay.
So I have been playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Oh my gosh. So I bought it on to Series X, and they did such a good job with the textures. Holy crap. I'm playing the first Mass Effect. That game released in 2007.
Yep.
And I'm playing it 4K at 60 hertz, and you can see Commander Shepard's pores on their face.
Yeah.
Which is insane. That game, when that came out, texturing was nowhere near that at the time. You were playing that game maybe in 720p. I was like a sophomore in high school when that game came out. Now I'm playing it again for the first time in like a decade, and it is so good. I know I talked about it again, but I just want to praise that game. They've even already came out with updates just to make the fidelity better and the frame rates work smoother too, so that way there's no dropping. So they've already updated the game to that much, which is just really cool to see. I highly recommend everybody play that game when they get a chance. That story is massive. It's so you really feel like you're a part of it, and the decisions you make.
BioWare, not massive.
Anyways, so yeah, go play Mass Effect Legendary Edition. You can skip around between 1, 2, and 3. It has all of the DLC content, and I can't wait to finish that game in 250 hours. Now, what I've been watching, and I know you're going to talk about this here soon, but I finished Castlevania Season 4.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm going to overlap with you here, all right? Because we got to be hype about this together, because I've not hit Season 4 yet. I am 2/3 of the way through Season 3, so I'm almost there, right? Devin.
Yeah.
I cannot believe I slept on this fucking show. How dare I? How dare I sleep on this? Devin, how was Season 4?
It was fucking amazing. And yeah, I don't know what else to tell you, because it just came out and I literally binged it in 2 days.
Oh my god.
It is so good. The animation is just so good. The game, I mean, it's all based on the games, and it pulls a lot of lore from the games, and the story it folds so well together, and the characters are really good, and the action is just insane. Like, it's so grotesquely gory, but so fun at the same time, you know. And there's definitely things where, you know, you'll be looking, you know, watching, and you're like, oh my god, don't tell me they're gonna do. Oh, they did it to the dog. No.
don't say too much. Don't say too much. Don't say.
I'm just saying, it has those moments, man, where you're just like, oh, they better not do, and they do it. They Game of Thrones you, man.
No, it's true. they do something like that. And that's actually a part that I was going to say is actually like, I'll get to you in a second. Is there anything else that you've consumed this week, or those are your 2?
Yeah, well, I had 3.5. I am
that's right.
playing Resident Evil 8. I've not finished it yet because my partner Sierra, who's in the chat right now, was gone on vacation, and we're playing that game together. I can't wait to play that some more. And you know what? Freaking my last one, and this goes for both of us, Apex, dude.
Let's fucking go. And that is perfect segue into mine, because I was going to talk about Apex this week. You're on the dime, Devin.
Yeah.
It's 6. So I cannot believe how much we've fallen in love with Apex. I spent all this time telling you that I only played like 2 hours of Apex Legends when it first came out. When it first, like day one, I downloaded the game, I played it, and I sucked ass at it, and I never picked it up again until our boy Kai, Island Style, came in and just sold us on playing it again. You know what I mean? It was just fucking play it. Just play it. Yes, Xander in the chat, we are playing arenas. We've been playing like every other night for like 3 hours. It's sick, dude. It's so sick.
And we're playing tonight again.
Yeah, we're going to be playing tonight. I promise you're going to be playing tonight. It is amazing. So here's the deal. I'm in a weird special case where I did not think I was going to fall in love with this in any capacity.
Absolutely, Xander. Absolutely. He asked if we needed third.
Yeah. we will hit you up. I really did not think that I was going to fall in love with this game. I really didn't think. And Arenas is so good. It did it. It did it to me. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. It's so much fun. Like we've had so much time with friends the past few weeks, this past month, that we've been streaming at Apex every Thursday and playing on off nights and everything like that like, I haven't felt like this since picking up Rainbow Six Siege. Devin, just this obsessed with the game, like a competitive game. I love it. I love it, dude. Now, here's the deal, guys. I finally started watching Castlevania. So I'm talking about 2 things tonight that I have unfortunately slept on for far too long. Castlevania is the anime Game of Thrones that I've been fucking wanting for so long. Because after season 1, it turns into Game of Thrones. And it is wild. It is so fucking wild.
Yeah.
The animation, superb. The art style, superb. The voice acting, amazing. The soundtrack, mind-blowing. The mixes that they've done with Bloody Tears, the classic Castlevania theme song, are you fucking kidding me? The soundtrack for this damn show is outstanding. I cannot believe it. And the writing, the way that they turned the game's lore and story into a full series that is completely watchable episode to episode, I find myself not wanting to stop a majority of the time. Like, I'll get 4 episodes deep and be like, fuck, I gotta stop and go to bed. Like, it's so good. And it's nice too, because each episode's only like 30 minutes long. Yeah. It's only half an hour long, like, if even that. I think they're like 25 minutes actually. Like, each episode's super short, and they give you everything that you need to get in the episode, and they get you the fuck out or into the next episode. And they always have such a good way of hooking you into the next thing that's going to happen in the next episode. Amazing. Dude, I cannot fucking believe how good this show is, man. I'm so thankful for you for pushing me to go watch this after I kicked your ass about Invincible. Good trade-off, baby. Good fucking trade-off, man.
I have another one for you as soon as you're done with Castlevania.
Ooh, okay.
It's called Blood of Zeus.
Oh, is it another anime? Is another anime?
It's another Netflix original, and since you like Castlevania, I'm pretty sure you're gonna like Blood of Zeus.
You know, is it like mythological thing? Is it like?
Yeah, it's all Greek mythology.
You know, I like my mythological stuff, my friend.
It's got to do with Zeus himself and Hades and the Titans. Yeah.
I am Dick Smith right now, my dude. I am Dick Smith right now. It's lit. Devin, we're going to move into our third and final headlining segment of the show today. Devin, tonight, because we talked about lots of wonderful movie memories, tonight we are talking about, oh my God, Dick Smith. We're just Dick Smith all the time now.
Someone make a command, please.
I know, I'm going to make a Dick Smith command now. It's going to be great. Tonight, our headlining segment is that we are actually talking about our biggest and favorite video game memories. This includes hype moments. This includes personal memories. This includes how we've gotten into, video games, different video game franchises that we fall in love with. Devin, I want us to do 3 each. We're going to start with you, come back to me, and just go back and forth that way until we've each done 3. Devin, what is your third best video game memory?
I'm going to go with my very first one to memory. Do you remember those jam-packed demo discs we used to get for the PS1 and PS2 back in the day?
Yeah.
You remember those?
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one time they put Final Fantasy VIII on a jam-packed disc. And I popped it into the PlayStation, and it was a demo curated version of the very first mission you go on as a seed operative, where you go to an island to go to power up a dish at the top of a hill, and it's all just turn-based battling. You get to try out a few of the summons. They are called guardians in that game. But the main thing I want to say is going from N64 to PS1 and the Final Fantasy VIII intro cutscene that they included at the beginning of the demo every time you clicked on it. And I would watch that over and over and over as a kid and just get so hyped on Final Fantasy. So as a memory for me, that was like the biggest thing, because like seeing the animation and the cutscene, I just thought it was so cool. And it just had this epic music while it had Squall, Leonhardt, and Seifir fighting each other and showing how they got the scars on their face.
Right.
Yeah. And that was so hype. And that is what pulled me into Final Fantasy.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah. Dude, I had to be like 7 years old. When that game came out, 1998. I was 7 years old when that happened. But anyways, that's my first one right there. Just that got me hype on JRPGs, is that right there.
That is probably going to be the direction I'm going to start with too. I got into video games. So I had a childhood friend named Zeke, right? And also, yes, guys, please, if you have video game memories, drop them in the chat. We want to read them. We'll probably talk about some if we have a little extra time by the time we're done here. Well, I first got fully into video games. I was introduced to some video game stuff when I was younger because my uncle had gotten me into my dad got me into like Duck Hunt, whatever. That doesn't really count. I was like -8 years old. My uncle got me into like Doom and shit when I was like super young, whatever, right? I got really into video games because I went to my friend's house, Zeke, who had 2 older brothers who were, I think, like 20 and like 25, some shit like that. They were like marginally older than us. And not marginally, they were pretty much older than us. And when I came over, I had noticed that his next oldest brother, Bubba, was playing a game that looked sick. It looked awesome. And I'm just standing behind the couch watching him play this, enthralled by this game that I was experiencing before my eyes, right? And I go, Bubba, what game is this? What are you playing? And he goes, it's called Final Fantasy VII. And he goes, this is the final boss fight. And he goes on to explain to me this entire backstory about some guy who hated this fucking guy, and they're having this fight because he killed this guy's family and just all this shit. And I was like, oh my God, this sounds amazing. And that was the beginning of me falling in love with Final Fantasy VII and every Final Fantasy since then. And my whole line of just becoming addicted to video games started with Cloud fucking Strife jumping off that train because Bubba let me borrow disc 1 of Final Fantasy, and I purposely went out of my way to go home and run my ass home and play this fucking game. Let's go, Final Fantasy. Let's go.
I like that you and I had very similar startups in our love for RPGs, you know, like, I mean, I've pretty much damn near bought in every Final Fantasy game that's come out since then, besides Final Fantasy 11. I play 14 right now. 15, I played the shit out of 15. 15 was fucking great. I cried 15 at the end of 15.
Oh my
you know what
God,
I mean?
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. And, you know, it's just cool that we have that similar. I'll go into another one. And this is what made me really love first-person shooters.
Okay.
This is what got me into being competitive while also just playing with friends. Is back in high school, we did that fabled thing that everybody talks about that doesn't really happen anymore. Halo 3 LAN parties. Boy, you know our boy So Lock and Load?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Him and I would do those together, and we'd get like 12 to 16 people together, and we'd have like 6 to 8 TVs set up. Some people would bring their own monitors and play on their own separate TVs, and some people, you know, like on the bigger TVs, we'd put like 2 to 4 people on them. You know, it was so much fun. God, we would stay up all night playing Halo 3 forever, and like I don't think anything will replace that memory, and I will always cherish that as a memory for myself when it comes to gaming. Just one of the coolest moments. It's just like yeah, playing online with your friends is fun, but man, being a kid and being able to experience that, you know, endless pizzas and 2 liters of Mountain Dew, dude, like just the most typical ass LAN party shit, like bags of Doritos everywhere, you know, just pranks being pulled. Those were the best. And shout out to our boy So Lock and Load for those. He comes around chat every now and then, so hopefully he hears us.
Does. Awesome. Thank you.
He would host. Yeah, he would host quite a bit of those.
My first LAN party was World of Warcraft, actually.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that was I had to fuck the Alliance. First off, let's start there.
Someone got stomped one night.
I love it. Fuck the Alliance. Let's go. That was my first LAN party. So and then I did
There's some hordes in this house.
There are some hordes in this house. Let's go. I had some LAN party experience with Halo for sure. I actually my second one, funny enough, was actually also a Halo story, but mine is actually my introduction to Halo, which started with Halo 1. And I experienced Halo 1 at my friend Nick's house, who's actually also the kid who got me into Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards. Like, he got me into a majority of the all the nerdy shit that I'm into today. Basically, that isn't just video games. So bless your heart, Nick. I love you. And he had me come over, play Halo for the first time, and we got into multiplayer mode with his older brother and his older brother's friend. And we're playing in a map that has the big open field and the
Blood Gulch.
Yeah.
Blood Gulch.
Yeah. So we're playing that map. I'm walking through the map, not having any fucking clue what I'm doing, okay? And I remember clear as yesterday that I'm walking down this hill, and I walk up this hill, and I don't know, right? My friend's brother yell, "Yeehaw!" And he jumps over this hill in a warthog and smashes on top of me. And I never played Halo until I got older and just bought it on PC myself.
Really?
I was so fucking pissed. I was like, what the fuck is this game? I don't even know what I'm doing.
That's the whole point of Halo, though, is to troll your friends.
It's actually not even called Halo. It's called Troll Your Friends. That's what it is.
Yeah, right.
troll your friends and find the skulls. That's what it's called.
Just like going back on that whole experience, I remember like just at the LAN parties, like people would just like troll or like, you know, like camp spawns and stuff, and there was a whole lot of dead arm punching.
Yeah,
people would die at those because of that stuff.
Yeah,
you were probably that person that would punch people in the arm when you died.
Oh no! That wasn't me. That wasn't me. I'm twice the normal man size, so I can't be going around like punching people in the arm without feeling bad. So
hey, when we were children, that's not the truth.
Okay, well, for you. I was never a tiny kid. Fuck you, man.
I'm not saying tiny.
I know. I love you. I know.
I love you, man.
I like trapping people into like thinking they're accidentally doing a fat joke. You know what I mean?
Manipulation?
I am not going back to prison. Devin, what is your...
Well, I mean, you do have face tattoos, so.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. You're right. Devin, what is your number one most memorable video game moment?
Okay. This
brought
is
to you by Truly.
And White Claw Surge. Get your 8% seltzers.
Yeah. Truly and White Claws, Devin, most hype moment in video games.
Okay. So back when the Do Action Sports Tour was a thing, they brought their like E3 like game demo setup on the tour with them because it would happen during the summer right after E3. So God, this had to be like 2008, I think. So they had this game called MotoStorm. I did not have a PS3 yet. I spent a good, like, probably 2 hours inside this this game trailer, like testing out all the new games and, you know, PS3, and, you know, doing game demos, which who knows what that's going to be like going forward after, you know, everything we've dealt with. But they did a competition. The fastest lap gets a VIP weekend pass to the Do Action Sports Tour and gets to meet pro skateboarder Andy McDonald and play video games with him.
And you fucking won it?
Yeah.
I won
the fucking thing. And it was so... I don't know how, but I got fastest lap in this game. And I ended up racing Andy McDonald, like playing MotoStorm. And then I got a VIP pass to the Do Action Sports Tour from PlayStation, and I got to be like walking around with the pros. Like I ran into Ryan Schuckler. I got to skate the park, walk around like the mega ramp and everything they had set up, and it all happened because of playing video games. And I forgot to dig out my pass, but I do have a pass, and we will post it on our Twitter later, just for proof. This is like it's a golden little heirloom of mine. Just great fond memories of the one of the times that video games did something really cool for me, because at the time I was actually a competitive skater on the local level, so that was like the biggest thing, where like I had two worlds of mine in high school collide, and I got to have some of the coolest experiences as a teenager, you know?
That
so yeah,
is way hype. Way more hype than mine, dude. That is sick. That is
sorry,
sick,
I'm trying to one up you.
Oh my god, no, that's amazing, dude. Congrats all these years later.
Thank you. I know. I mean, not that it means a whole lot now, but it was really cool at the time.
Dude, that's super sick. Dude, any memory that you can hold on that's like that, fuck yeah, man.
I mean, dude, I'm 29 and I still have a pass from when I was like, I don't know, 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, worth it. Yeah. Dude. So my number one biggest video game memory here is one nowhere near as hype as yours is. Mine, I actually want to talk about being extremely sad. So my number one favorite video game memory, and I do have an honorable mentions here that I want to talk about to you that are both kind of very similar, is the end of the first season of the Walking Dead video game, the Telltale series, Walking Dead.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I played this game nonstop all the time on public transit when I was on my way to work, and I played it on my phone. And I was working in Einstein's Bagels here in Portland, and would have to be there at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning, having to take the bus. And I'm not emotionally prepared for doing a lot of things at 4 o'clock in the morning on public transit, Devin. And I got to right before the very final ending parts of the game, and decided to play the ending of the game on my lunch break.
Oh, woof.
Now, for anyone and all of our listeners and viewers at home here, I just want to express something real quick. Fun fact about me, okay? I'm a huge bitch. I'm a huge baby back cry baby bitch for anything that is fucking sad. I would shed tears for weeks shamelessly. I don't give a shit. If it's sad, I'll let you know it's fucking sad. All right, I don't give a shit. I'll cry and I'll rub it on your face. I like wipe my eyes, slap you in the face with it. You know what I mean? Feel my tears.
Oh man.
Tears for fears. So I did that. Cheers. Yeah, I know, right? Cheers to that. So I beat the game on my lunch break. I'm sobbing. Absolutely fucking sobbing in the not in an employee lunchroom. I'm out in the actual regular like eating area for customers, bawling my eyes out, watching Lee trying to hand off information to Clementine in the very final scene of this fucking thing. And she's walking in the open field. I'm bawling my fucking eyes out. And some lady comes up to me. I'm wearing my work uniform, right? So she thinks that I just got fired or something. Okay. So she comes up and she says, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I was playing something. It's really, really sad." She's like, "Oh, you had me worried. I was gonna tell you I could hire you for this job if you'd like to." I was like, "Oh, it's okay. It's fine." She handed me your business card, and 5 months later, I was working for this lady. And she really was so sweet. She really was so fucking sweet. And I worked for her for a better part of a year. It was awesome. It was dope.
What'd you do? What'd you do for her?
I was piano moving.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was lit. Yeah, she saw
pianos are metal, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, she saw Thick Boy out here doing his thick things.
Yeah. Ooh, she saw you doing some flexing while you were crying, you know? When you were crying, you were just like flexing at the same time.
Yeah. Exactly. She saw my thick cake. She saw my cake, and she's like, "Oh, he got the wagon. He got the wagon."
Flex crying. I like to call that series flex crying.
Flex crying. I'm about it, dude. That is my main one. My honorable mention that I want to mention is really just my experience playing The Last of Us 1 for the first time after Joel.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I was gonna bring up the same exact thing.
Devin, you and I are killing it tonight. You know what I mean?
Like, oh wait, are you talking about part 2 or part 1?
Part 1.
Okay, yeah. The very beginning of that game
fucked me up so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Like,
I remember playing that game. So I got my PS4. I started it. Had the entire opening thing. Was enthralled by this game. And then that scene happens. And I was a mess for the rest of the night because I was just like, I can't believe that they just showed us that. And then the rest of the fucking game is like that.
Yeah.
Where something terrible fucking happens and then black screen. And you're just left.
And it just says The Last of Us.
It was to just sit there and feel every ounce of weight that you just had forced to experience. I hated it and loved it so much.
So they're doing a remaster too. And like
remake.
Yeah.
Remake.
Yeah, they're doing a remake because they already did the remaster, so they're doing a remake of the remaster.
Which actually, I think it's the remake of the remaster because I'm pretty sure they remastered it after. Oh no! Wait, maybe no. Right. Remake of the remaster. Yeah. So, I was thinking like Skyrim. Anyways,
I actually really hope that remaster comes out on PC as well.
Oh,
you know, since it will be the third time that game gets released. And yeah, I'm with you, Sierra. We had a whole episode about me going, why are you doing a remake of the remaster when you could just update the compatibility?
I know. We'll get into that another day, though. But
yeah, we don't have to get into that right now. But I hope it just comes out on PC this time because Lord knows that we probably aren't going to be able to find PS5s for like another 2 years. I'm being negative, but really,
of course. I get it.
You know, I want to really experience that game again. And I'm not gonna lie, I turned on the PS3 version of it because I have the old school 80 gig PS3 right behind me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't hold up that good. I'm not gonna lie.
It doesn't.
It's clunky.
The remaster that they did for PS4 is actually surprisingly good. Yeah.
They
remastered the fuck out of that, baby. You know what I mean? They remastered the hell out of it. It's good. One of my favorite, like, easily top 10 favorite games ever, alongside The Last of Us Part 2 being easily like top 3 favorite. Like, that game is one of my favorite games I have ever experienced in my entire life. It is so
ready
good.
For some blasphemy?
You haven't played it yet. I
have not played Part 2 yet.
Correct. And the day will come that you will, and you will be disappointed in yourself, just as I was with Castlevania for waiting so long to do it, because it was amazing. Definitely, It was fucking amazing. I want to kind of go into the chat and look over some of the stories that we had with you guys for memories in video games here. So we had first Vault of Glass clear in Destiny, convincing my dad to play Call of Duty with my brother and he actually enjoying it, playing up Army of Two with my brother. Dude, I played Army of Two so much with my brother too.
Same, actually.
Yeah, that was a brother as fuck game, dude.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, can we just sibling bonding during that game?
Oh, dude, me and my brother would play Army of Two, Baldur's Gate, like wrestling games, football games. Like we played video games so fucking much together.
Speaking of Baldur's Gate, we have Dark Alliance coming out here soon. Game Pass, which means you and I can play it together.
It fucking does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Highlash says my RPG addiction started with a PS1 game called Legend of Legaia. I almost forgot about that fucking game.
Yeah.
Another one go ahead.
I never played Legend of Legaia, but I played Legend of Dragoon.
Fuck. Yes, you did, Devin. One of the best PlayStation games ever. What?
They're remaking it.
I know. Well, I don't know.
They said I'll have to let me look up the article right now.
I know.
Continue on.
I just read the article the other night because I was actually discussing with my friend the other night too. It was announced that the original guy, I believe, the original director, was coming back to direct the remake as well. My issue is, it took them so long to buy into doing it because they were worried that it wasn't going to make enough money. There might be an argument that I don't see them making it. You know what I mean?
So they're doing it over at Blue Point Games, which did the remake for Dark Souls and also did the remakes for Halo 1 and 2.
Fuck, Devin, I don't need this much hype at the end of the show. Devin, I really don't.
That's all I'm going to say, but I just put it out right there for you.
God. Xantho in the chat says we did the same thing growing up, but instead of Halo, we played Starcraft and Warcraft. I miss Starcraft so much. Also, Xantho, I saw that you complimented my hair earlier. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
My boy is suave. Lights flashing.
I don't do my little like Magnum from Zealand.
No, I mean just a little bit of.
Oh wow! You just oh wow. Yeah. I miss StarCraft so much. StarCraft was one of my favorites when I was younger too. So much Mountain Dew and pizza, Little Caesars on deck.
Yeah. For us, it was Papa Murphy's because I worked at one when I was in high school.
Oh, that's right. Let's see. Oh, Xander clipped something earlier. I haven't looked at it yet, but I will.
Neither have I.
And it looks like that's all the memories you guys put in. Wait, what?
Tecmo, Super Bowl, and Double Dragon were the original games he couldn't put down. That's coming from Tyler and he goes, perfect. Those were the only games he had as a kid. And he also said StarCraft, holy shit.
Yeah, dude, StarCraft was a killer, man.
Yeah,
it was a fucking killer.
I played some StarCraft, but I was more of a Warcraft kid, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Yeah, I played Warcraft 2 and 3. 3 was fucking lit. Yeah, that's like the precursor to World at Warcraft.
Yes, it was very, very good. I actually got into Age of Empires before I got into StarCraft. Okay, honestly, like I was pretty big into Age of Empires. A lot of my younger gaming was done on PC, just like accidentally. But like, yes, Highlash, yes, in the chat. Age of Empires was lit. Age of Empires 2 specifically was like one of my favorites. That one was dope. That one was super dope. Yeah, there's a lot of games that I like experienced when I was younger that were just on PC for whatever. I spent a lot of time playing Sims. The Sims was one of my
Sim
fucking
Tower.
games. Yeah,
Sim Tower for me. I spent hours playing that one. I had to be like 8 years old, but like my parents had it, so I played it. You know, just so you know, the remaster of Age of Empires 2 is on Game Pass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just so you know.
I see you. And just so you, Nevin. Just so you know.
Get it? Did you get it?
Did I get what?
Game Pass.
No, I didn't. I'm so busy with Castlevania, Devin. I have a lot of things going on. And I'm stressed out, and I want to die, but I'm not going to die tonight because this has been the Good Kraken Podcast, a show for nerdy marginalized peoples, giving you the video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and 1 p.m. on Saturdays right here on twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow. If you enjoyed the show, you can support us by subscribing below, going to our YouTube channel by clicking the link in our About section of our Twitch page and clicking that bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. But until next time, fuck the Alliance. Let's go. Fuck the Alliance.
There's a horde in this house. There's a horde in this house. There's a horde in